Hello and welcome to Double Talk on the Corona Cast, right here on the Las Cruces channel. I'm Mark Steffen. It's the Corona Cast.
Does that mean I should keep this on or what?
You're now allowed to take it off.
Okay, I can take it off. I'm Michael Mandel. Oh, you probably couldn't guess that because... What? Yeah, well, that's okay. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. It just matters that I'm here and people can see me.
Yes, now it's my turn to wear this next, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Turn it inside out.
So look at all these alcohols we have in front of us.
We have the water lily today, which is kind of interesting from where we were last week, because last week we were using Creme de Violette. This is Rothman and Winter's Creme de Violette. The recipe I saw in the book, the PDT book. PDT is a bar in New York. Their book is really thick, and they have very specific requirements because they tell you what type of alcohol to use in every situation. And the Rothman and Winter is the best Creme de Violette.
It's not the kind of thing you're going to drink every day, but when you need it, you need it.
Sure it is, man. You got to, I've had this bottle for a while.
And I noticed how much you've been drinking it.
It's hard to drink. Oh, that's why you couldn't hear us, because the swamp cooler was on.
That's okay. It felt better with it on.
Okay, we better start drinking because it's going to get sweaty in here, and we can't afford. Anyway.
That's right.
So this is the water lily. Last week we had a drink with Creme de Violette and Cointreau. It was more of a balance of a martini because it had a lot of gin in it, and a little Cointreau and a little Creme de Violette. Since then, I discovered this one, the water lily and the PDT. It specifies the equal amounts of gin, Creme de Violette, and Cointreau, and in this case, lemon. So I think that works. It's the same quantities that is in the last word, except different alcohols.
And
Do you remember the last word?
The last word?
Yeah, it's made with chartreuse.
That's what you always try to get.
I do. Was that the last word? Okay, so this is 3/4 of an ounce of Plymouth gin. Second half of the show, we'll do the variation. Tastes ginny. The Rothman and Winter's Creme de Violette, you can easily pick this up at any specialty store in a large city. Which means
not here.
Which means you can't get it here. But you can actually get a Creme de Violette made by other people. Although I agree, it's not as good. I mean, this is really the best. And it's used for the aviation, which is also a good drink. Last week we did the Kiki, if you remember.
The Kiki.
Which was the Creme de Noyau.
So this is the Cointreau.
Cointreau.
Often used in margaritas.
Often used, it should be used in margaritas.
Yes, instead of triple sec.
Yes. And here's the health element of this. It's called a lemon.
That should help cut the sweet.
I can't see it. It's high.
It should cut the sweetness of the Cointreau.
And of the Creme de Violette. Also, it keeps it from being totally alcoholic. The Cointreau is 40% alcohol. I think this is 41.2% alcohol, so pretty much the same as most gins, the Plymouth. Plymouth gin is a type of gin, sort of like English dry gin.
Not London dry?
It's dry.
Okay.
London dry, yes. So it's its own gin, and
I think you got it there.
I don't know. It's supposed. Oh, there it goes. See, it always hides. Lemon is really a tricky ingredient because there's always more juice in it.
Well, don't put too much in.
No, it's got to be like 3/4 of an ounce, but I think that should be half an ounce. And it worked yesterday, so we'll see how it works today.
So now we shake it up.
We shake it up, and the second half of the show, I'm going to do a variation. It feels very light in here. Did I put everything in?
I'll let you know.
It was tasty. We'll do a variation the second half of the show.
We always do a variation of the first drink on the second half, because that's what we do. We do it for you.
So that you know that anything can be manipulated to be true, just as TV is like that.
Sure.
I gotta wait till my hand is freezing, okay?
There's a reason these cocktails exist, because somebody tried something out and it worked.
And said, why not do this? Of course, when you're very specific, oh, look at that luscious blue color.
Light blue.
It's
violettes.
it's much darker than the Aviation, which was named the Aviation because it had Creme de Violette in it. And
Okay, sir.
make sure you're not shaking. Oh, cheers. Oh, we are so health conscious here.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
That lemon gets you in the corner of your mouth.
The lemon, it's the Creme de Violette that is overpowering.
But that is tasty.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I really like this one. I could drink this all afternoon.
Oh, you shouldn't, Mark. You know why?
I wouldn't, but why?
Well, our next topic we're segueing into.
Well,
Because New Mexico,
New Mexico has the highest alcohol-related deaths in the United States.
but if you consider that more people in New Mexico drink than any other state, that would mean that it's alcohol related, right?
Well, that's per capita, of course. 52.
No, I think you only get one death per capita.
No, it's 52.3 per 100,000 population, which is twice the U.S. limit.
Limit?
For all the
Limit?
other states.
Is that their limit?
We
They're
have
only
twice
like-
as many alcohol-related deaths. Now, that doesn't include just drunk driving deaths. That includes alcoholism, cirrhosis of the liver, other alcohol-related deaths.
I think that's a good way to
Overdosing on alcohol, things like that.
ODing. Well, that's because we have very few people, and they all. Do you think it's mostly beer? New Mexico really has a lot of beer drinkers.
Yeah, but I find it hard to believe somebody could really drink enough beer
I do too. I think to
kill themselves.
Although
to kill
a
somebody else,
friend of
yes.
ours' brother, I think he died of overdoing it in wine.
You could.
I don't know, man.
That's why you call it a wino.
I don't know.
But an alcohol-related death could be somebody who's drunk and kills somebody else, either through rage or driving or
I
whatever.
think you kill some. Oh, is that what they're doing? People that are run over by alcoholics?
Yes, or,
Okay,
or shot
probably that's
somebody.
the highest. We do have a lot of driving problems here.
We do.
So- So I think you got to break down the numbers and see, because otherwise, I don't think a lot of people are dying because they're drinking too many blue-tinged drinks.
no, that's true, but a lot of it is they have a bad situation on some of the reservations as well.
Oh, maybe. That's also because theoretically, Native Americans really can't handle alcohol.
They don't process ethyl alcohol like the rest of us can.
Like Europeans?
Because they were not used to it for so many centuries. They never had it.
Luckily,
we introduced it
luckily
to
we came from a practiced group of people. You came from what? The Scots?
Oh, the Celts.
The Celts? Well, they're Scottish, Irish.
Irish.
They're perfect for getting
Welsh.
alcohol. And we know how much Jews drink, right?
Do we?
No. Jews drink no Schlivovitz at all. And that's the only... People would always say, have some Schlivovitz. And they go, well, no, did you ever have Schlivovitz?
I thought you had some. Didn't you have some once?
I
think I had some at your house.
probably.
Yes.
Nobody else would drink it. It's like a Hungarian brandy.
You had to bring over a few goys to drink it.
You need a goy to finish this up.
Yeah, so drink responsibly. That's all I can say.
And stay responsive when you're drinking.
Yes, exactly.
You know, be aware.
Now, as long as we're on the topic of death, the COVID-19
Oh, I don't like talking about COVID.
is a constant in our lives.
Didn't we
these
talk about
days.
that last week?
Yes, we'll talk about it next week.
God.
Now, we've had
what?
171,000 deaths in America so far, and 735 deaths in New Mexico alone,
How many deaths by alcohol
and
have we had per year?
37 COVID deaths in Doniana so far. So
Which you can read
Not too
on
bad
the
for
front
it.
page of the Sun News.
that's right. So, not too shabby for a Democratic hoax.
We're doing pretty good compared to everybody else.
Yes. Now,
And for good reason, we are taking precautions.
Well, you know-
for like 1 or 2 weeks, we opened up the restaurants, and then it's screwed everything up.
as they said it would,
There are many restaurants now that have tents and outdoor dining, and we find that perfectly lovely because the weather is really nice. Sort of once dinner hours here. A lot of people
Yeah.
have the sprays.
lunchtime, 100-degree weather, not
Yeah,
so good.
but they have the little spritzers. A lot of
Some
the
do.
places. I know that. Here's a plug for Cafe de Mesilla. She's been advertising her sprays, and it's a good place to have lunch.
Now, the U.S. is handling the virus worse than all other countries in the world. The U.S. has banned, the U.S. citizens are banned from going
Most
to Europe,
countries.
Japan, Canada, and Mexico. So if we want to go to Mexico, we'll have to jump the wall.
I hear it's pretty easy anyway. I think one big wind, there it goes. You just go there. It becomes a bridge if it's near the river. So the wall falls down. You can walk across the river without getting your
well, there's been a lot of people have been trying to get Trump to wear a mask every time he goes out in public. He won't do it. But I think all you have to do is get him a mask with a picture of Trump's ass, of Putin's ass on it, right? Make his mask look like Putin's ass, which he's constantly kissing anyway.
He said that.
Now, we need the...
your co-producer is mad. Oh.
New city councilor. We have a new city manager who has taken the reins of the city of Las Cruces.
Put that picture up, Chris. Don't get distracted by the person who just walked into the room. Oh, there.
And his name is, I'm not sure I know how to pronounce this. Ifo Pili.
Ifo Pili.
Ifo Pili. He's the new city manager. He got a 19% jump in pay from the previous city manager.
And why wouldn't we hire somebody at the same rate? We have no idea of how this guy is going to be. He worked in a town in Colorado.
Some small town. He'll be getting $216,000 per year, plus a great benefits package.
$5,000 for his car. He's forced to live here.
Oh, the horror.
Which means it'll be a lot cheaper than Colorado. I'm sure you can get a house here cheaper than Colorado.
Probably so. Probably so. So, welcome to Las Cruces.
Yes.
Ifo.
We've had iffy runs with city managers.
Well,
Stuart Eade came in here pretty good
at first,
and all of a sudden, it just went down.
Yeah,
prior to that, we had a lot of local people who were really good.
I interviewed Stuart Eade once while he was here. Hopefully I can chat with Ifo as well. Now, speaking of the city, Ifo kind of stumbled into this. The city is now having to pay out in restitution $6.5 million to the Valenzuela family because Officer Smelzer choked him out. That's the one who was choked out.
He was he was
a criminal, kind of a career
coke
criminal.
addict or something weird.
Yes, he was no angel. And he ran away from the cops when they pulled over his car. And Officer Smelzer caught up with him and said, "I'm going to choke you out," and that's exactly what he did, which is probably the reason why the city's having to pay out $6.5 million.
Yes, those cameras work two ways. No, they don't. They work one way. They protect people, but also they give large settlements because when you're aggressive and kill somebody for no reason except that I don't know what the reason is.
Oh, because
I want to make up the reason.
Because you're one of those cops who is an insecure bully with a sense of entitlement.
Ooh, I like that on-the-spot psychological analysis.
And and as like the Valenzuela's lawyer said, and they had one of the best lawyers in the state, said that he wants to make it clear to the city that it'll just be financially impossible for this to go on anymore.
Which is a good message to the city, but $6.5 million? Of course, the lawyer gets 1/3 of that.
1/3. Actually, the kids get about 900 and some odd thousand each.
His kids?
Yeah.
That should be enough to get them to a good school.
His mother gets nothing because she was divorced from the family.
Oh.
Now,
getting ready for the next drink.
Getting ready for the next drink.
Yeah.
Now, the post office is in the news quite a bit. And the post office has been caught removing these mailboxes like you see here, so people can't put their letters in, can't mail in their mail-in ballots.
We've had those things for decades.
Yeah.
I mean,
meanwhile, the Trump family and a whole bunch of congressmen are mailing in their ballots. It's okay for them to do it, but the rest of us aren't allowed to do it because it could be crooked. And of course, the high-speed sorting machines are being taken out,
which are amazing. If you've seen them on TV, they are just like gigantic machines that are doing. You think you put a few letters in to get mailed, and how hard is that? You just give it to somebody, but everything gets dumped and it has to get sorted. And,
Yeah, and the post office was like, there's no way we can handle. There's no way we can handle all this volume. Well, you do it at Christmas every time.
That's true.
Why can't they do it with mail-in ballots?
Right, this is just one letter per person.
Well, let's take a break.
Okay, let's take a break and remake our variation.
I'll do that. You know what? This is going to steal for Christmas now also.
Oh, I better send my presents now.
You found us on Channel 98. Keep watching because we have so much in store for you. We want to grow together. Your channel, local and real.
If we want to improve America's healthcare system, let's start by improving the health of Americans. Despite the best doctors, hospitals, and medical advancements, Americans are not as healthy as they should be. We spend too much on treatment and not enough on wellness and prevention. We need a system based on primary care. When patients have a medical home and a long-term relationship with a doctor, the result is a longer, healthier life and reduced medical costs for everyone. Let's make America a place where health is primary.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here. Horizon Granite is here. We'll come to you to customize your kitchen and bathroom with beautiful countertops and cabinets. Find out more at horizongranite.com. Call us at 575-650-3180.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here.
Make yourself a beautiful home.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
And we are back to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel. You look so official, shuffling papers.
I do.
Yes. We're going to do the variation on the water lily, which is in the PDT catalog. And what I've done is chosen Dripping Springs Artisan Gin from Austin, outside of Austin. And that's got, even though the Plymouth is maybe sweeter, this has more herbalness.
Herbal.
And since we are working with the Creme de Violette, herbal would be, could be good. We'll see. So I do 3/4 of an ounce of that. I'm going to do 1/2 ounce of the Creme de Violette. I thought the Creme de Violette was a little bit heavy, don't you think?
Well, it didn't bother me. I think the lemon kind of diffused it a bit.
Oh, diffused lemon. And we'll use, here's the thing. We will use the Cointreau as we did in the other one. We're going to use 1/2 of that. And as a special treat, Coca Americano.
Okay.
Coca Americano is sort of the replacement for Lillet Blanc, which is used in the Vesper. Oh man, this is good.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see if this works. And we got to do, you can keep talking because I have to cut the lemon.
Well, we were talking about the post office and all those mailboxes being removed. 671 high-speed sorting machines have been removed.
That 671?
Yeah.
That last one really was unnecessary.
Trump claims to always to be about the vets, but they get their medicine through the mail, most of them. And the post office is causing delays to veterans as well as senior citizens with their medicines, and as well as Social Security checks for the seniors. And if they get their check a week late, they go without food. They're late with their rent, so they have to pay a penalty.
Right.
And it starts backing up. All because he doesn't want people. It's all about voter suppression, and it makes everybody suffer for other silly reasons.
You ever think, I mean, this is just a weird, crazy outlier idea, that if you get rid of people, then you don't have to pay the Social Security and you can use that money for other reasons.
That's true. If they die, then you can use that money.
There you go.
To give it to billionaires.
It's a plan. Right, to give people breaks on their taxes when they have too many stocks that are doing well. So all the rich people who have lots of stocks, you know, you and me, because we're in the show business.
Well, me certainly.
Show business. Speaking of show business, you know, Ryan Reynolds owned or still owns Aviation Gin.
Aviation Gin.
Apparently, he's selling it for $630 million.
To what company? Do you know?
To Diageo, which owns many things.
I like Ryan Reynolds as an actor.
Me too, and he's giving a lot of it to charities. So, okay, Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he owns a lot of stuff. He owns a phone service.
Phone service?
Yes, sort of like Metro Mobile, something like that, but his own. This feels frozen already, so.
All right, then.
We're still doing double talk, by the way. I'm just shaking drink number 2. We've modified the ingredients.
Well, you know, this show is always about food and drink. We always do a
We
cocktail.
didn't mention food. Did you mention food?
Well, I just did.
I didn't hear you mention food.
We're all about food.
We're all about food.
If anybody has any good examples or bad examples with food in Las Cruces, we always like to hear about them because we talk about them when we have them.
Well, cheers
served.
again. You know what I noticed? A lot of restaurants went out of business before COVID hit, right? Are you thinking about this drink?
Well, restaurants are always going out of business in Las Cruces, COVID or not.
Oh,
That's good too.
yeah, it's much more relaxed, don't you think? It doesn't have that big hit of the Creme de Violette.
put less
The
of
Coke
it in.
Americano, which is something everybody should have in their larder.
What is Coke Americano? Mike?
Coke Americano is like an aperitif made out of, it's
Something yellow.
yeah, it's like it's not quite a liqueur, it's an aperitif.
Okay.
And it replaces Lillet Blanc in a number of drinks. One of the drinks you can use it in is, I think we can use it in Corpse Reviver number 2.
Have you ever had it straight on the rocks or something like that?
Yeah, it's
By
great like
itself?
that. It's
Yeah.
great by itself. My neighbor, whose name I shan't mention because maybe it's religiously improper, she tasted this by itself and she said, I would drink. She was a Mormon. So
That's
she's
what
not
I'm going to
supposed-
ask you that.
Yeah, she's a Mormon, and so, but she loved it.
Now, because of the coronavirus, live
Yes.
performances are off the books. No more concerts, no more plays,
So only dead people could act.
no more operas. And so smaller theaters especially are in serious danger of just going under for good.
And who would that be?
Well,
Black Box Theater?
we have 3 small theaters. A small theater is considered 500 seats or less. We have 3 of those in Las Cruces.
Even Rio Grande is less than 500 seats.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 of those in Las Cruces.
Okay.
The University Theater is also considered a smaller theater. We have the Rio Grande Theater, we have the
Las Cruces Community Theater.
and the Black Box Theater. They've been dark since March, and they will continue to be so in the indefinite future. So there is an effort called Save Our Stages.
Yes?
The Save Our Stages Act, which is locally is being ramrodded by the department head at the university, to get a funding grant from the government that will give the theaters enough money to remain semi-solvent because they're not getting any income until this whole thing blows over.
You know what else is a small
They're looking
theater?
for,
The Fountain Theater is a small theater. They are supported by, people support things on their own, even though they're not working. People are sending in money as contributions.
Well, that's nice.
Fountain Theater keeps advertising no
in
matter
the
what.
paper. Who's
Yeah.
paying for that?
Us.
Well, the Save Our Stages Act is asking for $10 billion in grant funds to small theaters across the United States. And it's before Congress now, and they say without it, 90% of the theaters will go under within 6 months. So I hope it does
Hopefully,
its way through.
A lot of the theaters are doing old things. They're putting on. You can sign up and you go look at Zoom entertainment.
Right, virtual
And,
place. That's not the same thing at all.
no, it's not. They're not making that much money on that.
No, they don't make money on that. And theater is part of our culture. We'd hate to have
Part
to
of
lose
our
that.
lives. This
Now-
is theater. This is how you do theater with a little screening.
the
You know,
screen.
you could do plays if you carry a piece of plexiglass in front of you while you're doing your
This is where a
lines.
visor.
Low, Cedric.
But now listen, the census is on now.
Oh, the census. Yeah.
They're going out in the field already. They've
And
been
you
doing
used,
it.
I don't want to say anything, but you used to work for the census,
I
right?
worked for the Census Bureau many times. I worked for 2 years out of the Denver regional office and
Oh, stop right.
elsewhere.
Yes.
So it's going on. Please answer the census. When they knock on your door,
It's not that hard.
they're knocking because you didn't send your form in.
Wait, did you reply to the census? Because you're afraid to go on to the
it's-
Albertsons
and
app.
and it's very important
Here you go.
because that's how we get our money for our schools and our roads and everything else that the government gives us money for. So please participate in the census. Now,
I put in 3.
good. The pickleball and tennis courts, they're changing because it's so hot.
are they doing?
They're adjusting the hours of operation from 7 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. and 7 p.m. to 9:45 p.m.
So not the hottest times of the day when it's over 95.
at the city courts. Kamala Harris, our new
Kamala.
vice
Kamala.
president.
To be, or
to be.
hopefully.
Yes. Now, her mother is from India. Her father's from Jamaica. Trump's so confused, he doesn't know what country to tell her to go back to. But we
That's why
wish
she
her
has a split personality.
we wish her all the best.
We do. She was, we just went through the Democratic convention. First time ever, it wasn't a real convention, but it's a wonderful TV event.
I thought they did a fabulous job.
It was great. I love the story. I mean, think about it. We watch a lot of TV. It was like a 2-3 hour show, but it was structured.
It's very well done. Frankly, I'm looking forward to the Republican convention, which is next week.
One person who won't be there is
Well, Robert Trump died. Donald's brother. He died this week.
71 years old.
You think it was COVID virus?
No, I think it was being poisoned, like the guy who competed with, Putin in Russia.
Oh,
Hear about that?
He wasn't running for anything.
No, but
I
who
think he had-
knows what he was going to? Maybe he was going to write a book.
No, I think he had the COVID virus. Frankly, that's my opinion. But that's all it is.
Could be.
Listen, this is a great drink, Michael.
Thank you.
What's the name of it?
This is Water Lily number 2.
Water Lily number 2. I highly recommend it. We're out of time.
Next time you go to the Amador, and most restaurants are open if you have outdoor food.
Don't mind sitting outside in the heat.
Hacienda was very good. They make a very good Negroni, by the way.
They do. So thank you for joining us here on Double Talk this week. We'll be back next week.
Who's the producer of this
Fade
show?
in,
Fade out. God, that's like my entire day. I fade in, I fade out. Hopefully I don't fade out while I'm driving.
I've seen your driving. There's a lot of fading.
What are you doing following me like that?
I'm watching in the rearview mirror.
No.